So as you just saw, those are the images and videos out of the Xiaomi 13 Lite, recently released here in the UK. Now, as an early bird offer, this costs around £420-ish. The normal RRP is £449. What are your thoughts on that price? I mean, there's elements of this phone which we'll get to towards the end of this video about how it performs, but I mean, it's pretty impressive. In terms of look and feel, it's very sturdy, very nice and light. I would have preferred a flatter display on my initial impressions of the device at the front, but there's a lot to love here. Actually, you know what? Let's talk more action. Let's show you. Let's unbox the Xiaomi 13 Lite. This is the box for the Xiaomi 13 Lite. That's that. In that you get a 67 watt fast charging brick accompanied by USB-C and a clear case. Nice and thin silicone clear case. Love that. Then you got your boring manuals, and then of course the coup de grace. The reason we're all here, let's be honest, and that is this, the Xiaomi 13 Lite. So gaming performance, let's look at this then. Oh goodness gracious. I cannot race. And let's go. And also sound output, let's jam the bad boy back up. Nice. So you get really good sound output, screen quality is pretty good to be fair. And then, it's not really long demo. Whoa. Yeah, so to give you an idea what the game performance is. Also, if I pause this and swipe across from the side, you get all these gaming options as well, so you can record, screenshot, add a do not disturb mode, or whatever have you. So this is tailored to gaming as well. But interestingly, as part of it for X out here, you also get Game Turbo, which basically optimizes the performance of the game itself, so you get higher frame rate. And then this is the UI of the Mi 13 Lite. Probably all familiar with it. Front is dominated by those dual cameras, and then you've got a very clean, simple looking UI with tons of options, things like ultra battery saver mode, casting. One thing I would say on here though is you get a lot of preloaded apps. So besides Need for Speed No Limits, the Mi Store, Xiaomi Community, all the games in there, and then a lot of these other apps you see at the front dotted around are all preloaded. So this is a 120 frames per second display, and you can set it up as you want. So you can have it as default, which is 60. You can have a high at 120. You can, if you wanted to, change that to 60, but again, why would you? And then the rest of the display, so as we mentioned, to those front facing cameras, this can pre-install the screen protector, that unlocks it, which is nice and smooth. And then around the sides, very thin profile, power button, volume up and down, nothing at the top besides the Dolby Atmos logo, nothing on the other side. Bottom, USB-C, and on the back, as you saw at the start of the video, those are your main cameras, dominated by that 50 megapixel camera. So we've touched on the cameras, we've talked about the performance, we've looked at gaming, we've looked at the UI, MIUI 14 as well. It all looks great, but let's talk about the specs before we get to a few idiosyncrasies when it comes to the phone itself. So Snapdragon 7 Gen 1, 6.5 inch AMOLED display, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage. You can get 8GB 256 as well if you wanted to. UFS 2.2 is a storage option, so reading and writing onto the storage isn't going to be as fast. 50 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, with 32 and 8 on the front two sensors. 4500 mAh battery, and yes, in the box you do get a 67 watt fast charging brick, so it'll probably get you from 0 to 100 on that 45 mAh battery in say roughly 45 to 50 minutes, which is amazing. Downside to the phone, I hate to say them, but here we go. No wireless charging. Bit of a bummer. Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 isn't the most speedy device processor in the world. 8GB of RAM isn't perfect, don't really think you need more than that. And then that 2 megapixel main macro rear lens, bit of a why is it there kind of thing. We would have preferred either get rid of it completely and drop the price a bit more, or maybe even adding in a different sensor like a
a telephoto lens, for example, at 8 megapixels. But here you go. Wireless charging, as mentioned, it doesn't come here. You do get IP53, so it's splash resistant, not water resistant. And the other downside is a bit of a weird one, but I would have preferred a flatter display. This curved display is nice, I would have preferred a flat display. And we have had the odd issue with the front fingerprint sensor, which sometimes it keeps coming with clean your sensor, which, you know, it's pretty clean to front, you tap it and there you go. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But other than that, it's a compelling package at around £400. There are rivals coming soon, Samsung A54, potentially the iPhone SE4, and a bunch of others from OnePlus as well will be up there. So it's something to consider for the near future. And maybe drop down a generation, get an S21 FE, roughly the same price, and you get a high-end processor from Snapdragon on that one as well. A lot of things to consider. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, as always, we out.